Chapter 8. Bridge. In all his life, Haku had never seen such a sight as the dragon before him. He had killed other ninja before when the time had actually called for it. He remembered killing his father when he tried to kill him after finding out about his Kekai Genkai. But the dragon before him was something new. Something powerful. Something dangerous. Just what is he? Haku thought as he couldn't take his eyes off the dragon that was looking dangerously at him. What insane power! Sasuke said as the surrounding mist was surrounded by an orange light and fiery warmth. I'm finally in control. The dragon said with low, growling voice, now I'll show you real fire. The power of Burning Greymon. Burning Greymon rushed towards one of the mirrors and completely smashed it with one strike of his clawed fist before destroying another with his tail. Haku quickly tried to escape, but he was grabbed by the dragon the moment he jumped from the mirror. Sasuke watched as Burning Greymon slam its captive into the ground multiple times before tossing the hunter ninja to the side with enough force to send the hunter straight through a mirror and have the ninja's body bounce on the concrete like a skipping stone. With Zabuza, the swordsman decided to open his eyes just in time to see Haku bounce off the concrete and catch him. What the hell happened, Haku? Zabuza asked as he wondered just what had happened in his apprentice's fight. Zabuza-sama. Haku said as he slowly and painfully got to his feet, we must run. Wanting to see just what was going on, Zabuza released the mist jutsu to reveal Tazuna, the Konoha ninja, and finally. Is that a dragon? Zabuza asked as everyone looked to see Burning Greymon walking through a small shower of ice shards, each shard either bouncing or breaking from contact with his armor. So that's Burning Greymon. Kakashi said as he stilled himself at the sight of the dragon, I can't believe just how powerful he looks. Kurenai looked past the dragon to see Shino and Hinata. Neither of them moving. No. Kurenai thought in fear at the possibilities of what had happened that led them to their deaths. Zabuza chuckled as he would actually admit that he felt giddy at the sight of the dragon. Burning Greymon. And we wanted to fight him. Who could say that they had gone toe-to-toe against an actual dragon and not only lived to tell the tale, but even won and have its head as a trophy? Burning Greymon let out a mighty roar that sent a wave of killing intent through the area that had also shook the bridge. Zabuza swung the Kubiki Ribicho and let out a mighty roar of his own in the form of a challenge. One that Burning Greymon gladly accepted as the dragon used his wings to fly towards the swordsman. Everyone watched in gobsmacked awe as Zabuza jumped towards Burning Greymon before a shockwave exploded when the two clashed in midair. The Konoha ninja, Tazuna, and Haku quickly ran towards where Shino and Hinata were laying in hopes of being safe from not just the battle, but the dragon should he win. Zabuza quickly used the Kubiki Ribicho to push himself away in order to avoid a tail swipe from Burning Greymon. When the swordsman landed on the bridge, he had to quickly jump away as the dragon just barely missed him with a mighty punch that created a small crater in the concrete. Zabuza then went in for a slash at the dragon, but Burning Greymon was able to block the attack with one of the spear-like weapons on his forearms acting as a shield. You're pretty strong. Zabuza said as he tried to overpower Burning Greymon's defense, just what I expected from a dragon. You would make an excellent trophy should I kill you. Burning Greymon replied with a loud roar as the other spear-like weapon on his other arm was turned towards the swordsman to reveal a metal barrel underneath. Those aren't spears, Haku said in shock and fear, they're turrets. Pyro barrage. The dragon roared out as a barrage of fire bolts shot out of the turret and hit Zabuza at near point-blank range. The swordsman had taken multiple hits before jumping away and using a water clone to distract the dragon. That power is something else. Zabuza thought as he felt the many burn wounds on his body, and who would have thought that one of those Konoha brats could possess such a power? Agunaman, stop! Kakashi roared out towards Burning Greymon as he drew the dragon's attention towards him, think about what you're doing. How do you think everyone will think of you if you let yourself become out of control like this? Stay out of this, Kakashi. Zabuza ordered as he charged towards the distracted dragon and slashed Burning Greymon's back with the Kubiki Ribicho, this is my fight. The armored dragon let out a mighty roar as his attention was returned to the hidden swordsman, restarting their mighty clash. We need to get everyone out of here, Kurenai said as she went to get Shino and Hinata before the hunter ninja stood in her way. Allow me, said the hunter as he kneeled next to the fallen duo and removed some of the needles from their bodies. I have never really aimed to kill them, but even so, I have never thought that such a drastic turn of events could happen. After the last few needles were removed, both Shino and Hinata let out a reviving gasp before going into coughing fits in order to regain their breath. So that's... cough. Cough, so that's what death feels like. Cough. Cough. Shino said as he slowly picked himself up with Kiba helping Hinata. What? Hinata asked weakly, what happened? I had placed you two in a death-like state, the hunter said as he then pointed towards where Burning Greymon and Zabuza were fighting, and your friend had changed into some sort of dragon. We have to help him, Shino said as he tried to get to his feet before Kurenai placed a hand on his shoulder. There really isn't much we can do, the red-eyed Jonin said as she watched the battle. We can't get close enough since that dragon has those turrets. With Zabuza, the swordsman jumped away to avoid a swipe from Burning Greymon's claws while performing a series of hand seals. Let's see how you handle this dragon, Zabuza roared out as he stopped on the final seal of his jutsu, water style, water dragon jutsu. From underneath the bridge, a jet of water shot out in the form of serpent-like dragon before reaching where the battle was taking place. Seeing Burning Greymon, the water dragon then shot straight towards the armored dragon and violently collided into him. The attack held enough force to push Burning Greymon a good distance until the armored dragon crashed into a nearby crane. The armored dragon fell down onto a knee as steam was rolling off his body and his breathing was heavy from taking such an attack. Burning Greymon got to his feet and let out a mighty roar to signal that he wasn't defeated yet. You're a stubborn bastard, aren't you? Zabuza taunted the armored dragon before rushing towards him with a slash ready. I have to help Naruto, Kakashi thought as he performed a few seals, even if it means I have to fight him as well. Seeing lightning being gathered in Kakashi's hand, Haku knew what the Jonin was planning and had to act fast. Time for me to use my original jutsu, Kakashi said. Lightning was surrounding him as he charged straight towards the two combatants, lightning blade. Everything happened so fast as Kakashi had his hand straight through the hunter ninja while Burning Greymon was slicing the Kubika Ribicho's blade with one of his sharp claws. The hunter ninja's mask soon fell off to reveal a familiar feminine face that had blood dripping from the mouth. It's that boy from the forest, Naruto thought as he saw the boy's body slide off Kakashi's arm and fall onto the concrete. The memory of that day entered his mind had then given Naruto the strength to finally fight the beast spirit back. Seeing Burning Greymon back away while grabbing his head, much to everyone's surprise, with Kakashi watching with both anticipating fear and a childlike curiosity. And no. The armored dragon said as he stumbled around, I won let you win that easily. Think again. The dragon then said with a Gunamon's voice before being enveloped in a bright light. The light died down to reveal a Gunamon as he had fallen onto his knees and was breathing heavily from exhaustion. Everyone, save for Kakashi, Zabuza, and the now dead Haku, rushed towards the fallen warrior and helped him onto his feet. Thanks. A Gunamon said until he saw Hinata and Shino, both of them alive. Hinata. Shino. You're alive. That's because he had never aimed to kill, Kurenai said as she then saw the armored warrior hug her two students with tears falling from his eyes. I'm so glad that you guys are okay. A Gunaman cried out as he tightened his grip on the two. We are glad to be alright as well, but, Hinata said with slight discomfort as there were still some needles in her body. Could you ease up on the hugging? Shino said bluntly as a Gunaman looked to see some of the needles in the two Jonin's bodies. Sorry. A Gunaman said with a slight chuckle as he let go of the two, but still glad that they were both alive. Haku was always weak, Zabuza said coldly, drawing a Gunaman's attention, and now he's nothing but a broken tool. You really don't mean that, do you? A Gunaman roared out in anger, he sacrificed everything for you. So what? Zabuza countered, furthering the armored warrior's anger and fury. He was too soft and too kind to be considered a shinobi. "You bastard!" a Gunaman roared out as he approached the swordsman. "A Gunaman, wait!" Kakashi said as he approached the armored warrior in hopes of calming him down and prevent Burning Greymon from returning. "Out of my way!" a Gunaman said as he pushed Kakashi to the side while standing before Zabuza, eyes shining with pure fury. Zabuza looked in the warrior's ice blue eyes and saw a mixture of anger, fury, and pain. "You saved him from whatever pit of hell that he might have fallen into," a Gunaman began as he stared deep into the swordsman's eyes, "and this is how repay him? By tossing him aside once he's broken? He sacrificed so much for a damn bastard like you. He tossed away his dreams, his happiness, and even his life for you. He saw you as someone so dear to him that he would do anything for you just to make you proud and happy of him. He saw you as a father and you just treat him like garbage after he becomes useless to you. I know the dark truth about being a shinobi, and if I become strong enough to control my beast form, then does that mean I'll become a cold monster like you? I'd rather lose everything I own if becoming stronger means becoming a monster. I don't care if I can never control Burning Greymon as long as I still have my friends." The silence was deafening as a Gunaman's words had pierced them right through their hearts like arrows. "Naruto-san," Shino thought as he remembered losing his childhood friend, Darun, when he had mysteriously vanished, "I too feel your pain." "Naruto-kun," Hinata thought as she remembered the time the blonde had saved her from bullies and how Naruto had also suffered from being alone. Naruto. Sakura thought as she remembered how her teammate had given her a chance at being his friend once more. Kiba kneeled down to pet Takamaru as the two of them had been through so much that they would do anything for each other, while Kurenai thought about how Hinata's father, Hayashi Hyuga, had been treating his own daughter for being weak. The sound of clapping was heard as a short man wearing a suit and many armed thugs were seen. "So this is the feared demon of the mist," the short man said before he let out a chuckle. "Good thing I decided to cut you out of the deal." "Gato," Tazuna said as he looked at the many thugs with an unimpressed face as compared to Burning Greymon. Those thugs were nothing but schoolyard bullies. "So you're Gato?" a Gunaman said as he looked at the man and his thugs. "I honestly thought you'd be more scarier if you weren't a midget." Gato let out a small growl as he then said, "Let's see you making jokes once I kill you." Taking the signal, the many thugs began to charge straight towards the ninja and the bridge builder. "I know I'm pushing it, but here goes," a Gunaman said as he brought his hands into a familiar seal, multi-shadow clone jutsu. Multiple plumes of smoke erupted to reveal a handful of Agunamans, with some of them looking weak and dead while the original fell to a knee and was breathing heavily. "Looks like you could use some help," Zabuza said as he glanced over towards Kakashi. "Kakashi, I'll trade you the Kubiki Ribicho for a couple of kunai. I have a debt to repay." The silver-haired Jonin pulled out a couple kunai and tossed it towards the swordsman as he dropped the broken sword and grabbed the small knives. Before anyone could act, Zabuza flashed by the multiple Agunamans and charged straight through the thugs, slashing each thug with the small kunai knives along the way. Blood flew from each slash while a few thugs were able to stab the swordsman with spears, some of them hitting vital organs and areas multiple times. It lasted only a few seconds until Zabuza had made it to Gato and stabbed the small man right through the heart. "I'll see you in hell," Zabuza said as he pushed the kunai deeper before finally pushing Gato over the edge of the bridge and into the water below. The swordsman then turned to face the thugs, who were now fearing the monster before them, before falling onto his knees. "Haku," Zabuza said as he used some of his remaining strength to tear off the bandages on his face to reveal his entire face and jagged teeth. "I'm sorry that I can join you. I've always never told you of just how proud I am of you. My son." Seeing the swordsman fall down lifelessly, the thugs then turned their attention towards the Konoha group and the Agunamans, weapons ready. "We don't need Gato, since once we get rid of these guys we can raid that pathetic village of cowards," one thug shouted until a crossbow bolt landed right at his feet. "I don't think so," shouted a young voice as everyone looked to see Inari, armed with a crossbow, and the many other villagers that were armed with knives, pitchforks, steel pipes, and everything else including the kitchen sink. "Alright," the original Agunaman said as he got to his feet and faced the thugs, "hope you guys are ready for the beatdown of a lifetime. I think I can add my 2 cents in this," Kakashi said as he formed a hand seal, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Plumes of smoke exploded to reveal 5 copies of Kakashi, each of them armed with kunai knives in each hand. Roar! "It looks like Burning Grayman's back as well," Kurenai said as said dragon appeared from under the bridge and let out another threatening roar towards the thugs. Seeing just what they were facing, the thugs quickly accepted their losses and ran away in pure panic, with some of them jumping over the edge of the bridge and diving into the water below. The sound of boat motors fading in the distance had signaled that the thugs were gone, as the villagers then began to cheer in victory as they were finally free from that tyrant's reign. Kakashi looked over to see Zabuza's corpse and walked over to it before picking it up. "I believe that you deserve to at least be by your son's side," Kakashi said as he walked over towards Haku's corpse with snow suddenly falling from the sky. "Snow?" Sakura asked in confusion as her teacher had placed Zabuza's corpse near Haku's, in the middle of summer. "This must be Haku's final gift," Kurenai said as Burning Grayman vanished, revealing that he was just an illusion. "He's finally at peace." "Rest in peace," Naruto thought as the shadow clones vanished into plumes of smoke while darkness was slowly creeping in his vision. "My friend." The sound of a body hitting concrete alerted everyone to the now fallen Agunaman as Kakashi and Shino rushed towards him. "He's alright," Kakashi said as he checked the warrior's vitals. "He's just exhausted considering that he had to fight Burning Grayman for control." Sasuke watched as Kurenai and Kakashi pulled the unconscious warrior up and slung his arms around their shoulders while following Tsunami to her house. That power. The Uchiha thought as the image of Burning Grayman was scarred into his mind, and to think someone as weak as Agunaman could possess such a power. "Now that I have the Sharingan, I am that much closer to killing Ichi." To Zuna's house. Kakashi, Shino, and Kurenai had just placed Agunaman in the futon that was provided by Tazuna, as it was just them in the room. "You can release the Jinjutsu on him, Kurenai," Kakashi said as his Sharingan eye was covered once more. The woman nodded to reveal an unconscious Naruto laying in the futon where Agunaman once was. "I'm you also guessing that Naruto was also Beetleman considering how he reacted when Agunaman appeared during his spar with Sasuke," Kurenai said as she looked at the 2 conscious ninjas before her. "I'm you also getting the feeling that Naruto's also Ranman, right?" Shino nodded as he said, "Yes. I knew of this some time before this mission and I have sworn myself to secrecy of this. I would only tell someone of this with Naruto-san's permission. I had only discovered this recently," Kakashi said as he looked at his student resting peacefully, "and I believe it would be best if this was kept secret from everyone." "Are you kidding me?" Kurenai asked in shock as she motioned to the sleeping blonde. "You saw what happened at the bridge and you want to keep this a secret? He risked everyone's lives. What if he turns into that beast, or some other beast like Burning Grayman again?" "You can ease your fears as we shall aid the boy with his training," said a new voice as everyone looked to see that the new voice was from Naruto as the blonde was awake and his eyes were glowing. "Who?" Kurenai asked as she was ready to attack whatever had possessed Naruto. "Who are you?" "I am Ancient Grayman," said the voice, now revealed to be Ancient Grayman, "and you have nothing to worry about at the moment as young Naruto is resting peacefully. I and the others promise that we are no threat towards you or the village." Ancient Grayman looked at Shino and said, "It is great to meet you again, Shino, as Ancient Beetleman gives you his regards." "Give Great Beetle Sama my thanks," Shino said, getting a surprised look from his teacher. "You've met them before?" Kurenai asked as she began to wonder what else her student had hid from her. "Indeed he has," Ancient Grayman said as he looked at Kurenai, "and we trust him with not only the knowledge of us and the power we have granted Naruto, but with the boy's safety as well. What happened back at the bridge was merely an accident as the beast form of my power had taken advantage of Shino-san's and Hinata-san's temporary death and took control over Naruto." "You said that Burning Grayman was the beast form of your power," Kurenai asked with caution, are there other beast forms of this power as well? Yes, the legendary warrior of fire said, but Burning Greymon was the only one Naruto had actually tried to contact. How many of you are there? Kurenai asked as she wondered just what kind of power Naruto possessed. There are 10 of us, Ancient Greymon answered, getting a shocked look from Kurenai, each of us having the power over different elements: fire, water, earth, wind, thunder, ice, steel, light, wood, and darkness. There are 2 different forms for each element, a human form and a beast form. We have only allowed Naruto the power of wind, water, fire, and thunder, and only once have we allowed him to confront the beast spirit of fire, Burning Greymon. We would only let Naruto try the power of the beast spirit if we believe he was ready for it. We have also placed limitation on the power, such as a time limit and the use of only one element, as to not endanger him or those around him. But he has lost control twice, Kurenai said as she pointed out the 2 events, so how can he properly control this kind of power if it's kept a secret from the village? While it is true that such power can be dangerous, Ancient Greymon said as he briefly closed his eyes, you must be aware of the amount of potential that Naruto possesses is one that none had ever seen. Or would they be willing to see? We have complete faith in the boy and trust him with our power as we guide him throughout his life. We see him as family with Naruto, returning the feeling as well as he had already formed a familial attachment towards Ancient Caseman and Ancient Sphinxman. In fact, I even see him as my own son, as I can sense a great burning fire inside the boy, and I can tell that Naruto Uzumaki can be someone who can change the very world itself. Kurenai watched as Ancient Greymon took in a deep breath and let out a sigh while she thought on what the legendary warrior of fire had said. Those words reminded Kurenai of her own bond towards Hinata, as she could see the Hyugan heiress as her own daughter at times, since Hayashi refused to give the young girl the love and support she needed. Everyone deserves to have a family, Kurenai thought with a small smile on her face, and I thank you and your friends for being there for Naruto, Ancient Greymon. I believe it is time to let Naruto's body rest while Tazuna finishes the bridge that will change the way of life for this place. Ancient Greymon said before closing his eyes, signaling that he had released Naruto's body from his control. Kakashi let out a small sigh as he said, I think it would be best if we all got some rest, as we had just got out of a major battle. I'll watch over Naruto while everyone else shall get some rest. I'll have Kurenai take the next shift in a couple of hours. With a nod of agreement, Kurenai and Shino walked out of the room and towards the living area where the other Konoha ninja were taking care of their injuries. We could have died today. Hinata sadly said as she looked at Sasuke, why did you use the substitution jutsu on Agunaman when we were fighting that hunter ninja? He was our ally. He's just a weak and pathetic fool that doesn't deserve the power he has. Sasuke answered, getting a shocked look from everyone, he's no ally of ours. But you saw what happened to him. Kiba argued as Burning Greymon was still fresh in his mind, we were lucky that Agunaman was able to regain control, or else we could have been next. Whatever, Sasuke said as he got onto his feet, I'm going to make him give me the power since he can't control it. I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. Kurenai said with authority in her voice, Agunaman needs his rest and we shouldn't disturb him. Kakashi and I will be taking turns watching over him along with Naruto since he was also injured during the fight. But where was Naruto? Sakura asked as she was worried about her teammate. I never saw him on the bridge. I can only guess that Burning Greymon had tossed him off the bridge after possessing Agunaman. Kurenai said as the Genin looked at her, one of the villagers must have found him and brought him here after the battle was over. Everyone seemed to have bought the story before going back to taking care of their injuries while Sasuke had decided to step out. Hopefully things will be alright from here on out, Kurenai thought as a feeling had occurred to her, but I think that this might be the beginning of something that the elemental countries could have never seen before. Bridge. A few days had passed and Tazuna's bridge was finally finished as the Konoha ninja, with a now conscious and fully recovered Naruto, were saying their goodbyes to the villagers that have gathered. Thank you for everything, Konohagakure. Tazuna said with a large and genuine smile on his face, If it were not for your actions and Agunamon's, we would still be under Gato's thumb for who knows how long. We would have also wished that Agunamon was here in person, Tsunami said with a soft, but joyful smile, but we understand that he and his friends must search for their lost clan and also give them the best of luck in their search. We'll let them know if we ever run into them again. Kakashi said with a nice smile. Naruto smiled as he looked at a smiling Inari and said, "You did an amazing job as well. Were it not for you rallying the villagers to stand up to Gato, we would have had all the fun." The younger boy laughed before he hugged Naruto and whispered, "Thank you so much, Agunamon." This shocked Naruto, but no one aside from himself and probably the two Jonin that had heard Inari. After the younger boy let go, Naruto placed a gentle hand on the boy's head as he said, "No problem, and just remember that you will always have the courage to make change happen as long as you act upon that courage." As the Konoha ninja left with Naruto waving towards the villagers of Nami, Inari looked at Tazuna and said, "Hey Gigi." "What is it, Inari?" Tazuna asked his grandson. "I believe I have a good name for this bridge," the small boy said as he watched the blonde ninja run towards his friends, "the Great Naruto Bridge." Tazuna brought a hand to his chin in a thoughtful manner as he then said, "I believe that is the perfect name, as we should honor the one who had given us the courage and hope to turn our lives around." Inari ignored the cheering villagers as he looked on and thought, "Thank you Naruto Agunamon for everything."
Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you guys want to watch more like it, please subscribe to my channel and become part of the video game fanfiction plot. And please leave a comment down below and hit that like button. If you guys have any suggestions on any stories you guys want me to read, don't hesitate. They're always welcome here in the video game fanfic plot. That also goes for video games. Until next time, goodbye!